All right. That's enough of that. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? I'm just messing around. Hey, Patty Duke. Hey, T Danielle. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hey, Star Bella, what's going on, girl? Yeah, let's get into it. And yes, I'm back with my late night radio voice because this is a very sensitive topic, and I just want to make sure that I don't, step on too many toes. But I just wanted to add my 2 cents, as a top myself. For those of you who don't know what a top is someone who sexually they don't do the other stuff. They just you know they bring the party. They don't really do other stuff. But you know, to each his own. I'm not knocking nobody. It takes a lot of work to bottom and verse and do all that other stuff. So my hat, I salute you wholeheartedly. For those of you who take the time out to do that other stuff, definitely is something that I salute. But I am just here to give my 2 cents on this situation with Honest Row. First of all, I just want to say I didn't quite agree with how everything had went down on Jay Wilson's. From the bit I heard, it kind of made Honest Row look like, how can I put this nicely? Like an honest hoe or something. And I don't know if that was the kind of narrative that was kind of being spun or the what was being kind of put out there, but I didn't necessarily agree with that. So let's just get into it a little bit. So yes, we know Brian is sick or was sick, and definitely on the road to recovery, and all praises to that. That is definitely a great thing. But on the one hand, right? So I was listening to the dialogue back and forth, and Brian was saying how he was listening to, first of all, you really don't kiss and tell. That was really like a no-no, but I mean, that's Honest Rose's position. If he feels to still befriend you after kind of giving up the goods, that's on him. Personally, it would be a no for me, um, just because that was unnecessary. But I know why you did it. Well, my assumption of why you did it, and I'll get into that a little later. But so, for those of you who may not have listened to it, hop over to Jay Wilson's and take a snippet. But to bust it down basically in layman's terms, Brian had something to say, and Jay Wilson was the one that he chose to tell it to. Um, and what he had to say, I don't know what it had to do with anything personally. I think, I guess I could just say it now, huh? My thought is Brian got a little jealous. Yeah, my feelings is Brian got a little jealous. Brian got a little jealous because everybody was talking about Honest Row and whatever that guy's name is, and kind of hooking them together, and that was the big story, right? And somebody wanted to add their funk to it, add their little sauce to the situation, right? So Brian proceeded to tell us all that him and Honest Row have shared intimate conversation, um, to where in which uh, Brian was in the bed aroused due to these conversations. Now, again, TMI is personal information. Nobody cares to know that. And the reason why you disclose that to everyone is beyond me, but I know why. Um, right. So he proceeds to tell the story, proceeds to tell everything that was told, everything that Honest Row told him about this particular story, about this particular gentleman that he used to uh, encounter or engage with. And, the man wasn't necessarily packing enough, right? Whatever. To each his own. Whatever, right? Um, so Brian proceeds to tell all this information and that he was aroused by this story and he felt a certain way about Honest Row. Okay. All right. So as I'm listening to this story, the first thing that's coming to my head is, "Aw, Tink Tink a little jealous. Aw, his feelings is hurt." Then I started to get a little like, the fuck are we doing? Because as he kept telling this story, he just kept apologizing to Honest Row and like, I care about you. I really like you, but still continue to tell his business. And it's like, what? You obviously don't care nothing about this man. Because if you did, you wouldn't be blasting out his business like this, but then still saying that you care about him so much. So I just listened until I couldn't stomach anymore and just decided to turn it. But my whole assessment in this is you were jealous. Point blank and period. You were jealous. You start listening to people talk about Honest Row and grouping this guy together with Honest Row. I can't think of the man's name, whatever. But yeah, they was people walking around connecting them two together and all this, and you got a little jealous. So then you decided to spill the little tea you had about Honest Row. And a story which in of itself, as a fellow top who has plenty of bottom friends that tell me stories all the time and I do not get aroused by their stories. Now it could just be because we're just friends and I don't look at them in that way. And so when they tell me stories, it's like, okay, but I don't feel like I want to jump their bones, right? So, I mean, if you like them, which you say you do, then that makes sense. to why in which when he was telling you this story about the guy, you got aroused. Now to the point where you felt the need to share that with the rest of us and still call this man a friend is beyond me. And I really don't think that that was healthy. Now, I know what you're going to do later is you're going to listen to it, you're going to feel bad about it, and you're going to blame it on the drugs that you were taking at the hospital, right? Or during this time of illness. But I don't think that's fair to Honest Row, right? And again, me not knowing Honest Row and not defending him or standing up for him, I'm just saying, just outside looking in, um, it didn't look cool, right? There was no need for you to do that to that man the way in which you did that. To do what? And then for him to apologize, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the conversation would. Clearly, if you guys are friends, there's levels of conversation that you guys would have offline. It's just natural. That makes no sense. You will naturally have conversations. Some may be raunchy, some may just be normal because of the nature of your friendship. Okay, so what? But if you can't kind of horn in on your feelings and control yourself and just listen to a story as a story and give your input when needed or whatever, or know the difference between somebody trying to tell you a story to lighten you up and, have you chuckle, and then somebody really telling you a story to kind of turn you on and get your motor running, right? It's kind of like, do we not know the difference? Can we not? Is there no discernment there at all? A little bit? You can't tell the difference when somebody's just telling you a story to kind of lighten the mood, or somebody's really telling you a story to get your motor going. I don't know. Maybe it's me, and you guys are free to tell me I'm wrong if I misstep. But I just felt like you're doing too much, player. You're doing too much. Um, yeah. So I no, I just have to disagree with that. I don't listen to every story somebody tells me instantly. I'm aroused. I think that that's a lot to do with like maturity in the sense. Um, Kind of knowing your audience, know who you're talking to. And if in fact you guys have had conversations where they have been intimate in nature to where you would feel a certain way like that, that's fine too. But that's still not something that you feel away because you see him getting attention or people giving him attention with some other gentleman that you feel like you want to throw your hat in the ring and go, oh, but look, we've been doing this too. Um, I thought that was a low blow. I really did think that that was a low blow. And to be a friend of someone and do that was definitely not a good look. Not a good look at all. Yeah. So I don't. I think that top shit is bullshit. Um, you liked him, point blank. Period. Uh, and he likes somebody else. We've all been there. The one you like don't like you, and you kind of pick your feelings up and you keep it moving. Either you continue to be a friend, right? A true friend, or you one of those people that if I can't be with you, then I can't be your friend. Like you choose which side you're gonna be on. But to do what you did, um, and making him look like he was playing both you and was it Shakim? Is that the man's name? Playing with the both of them is ridiculous. Like, right? It really is a bit much. And I know people are gonna take it light, because of your situation. But I just felt like that wasn't cool. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. And a lot of times people on here I've noticed don't have friends in real life, right? So a lot of times people on here become people's real friends, right? Because they don't really have social skills or anything like that to where they go out and meet people and all that kind of stuff. So they really cultivate friendships on this apparatus, which is cool. I still think you should go outside and get some air, but whatever floats your boat, right? Um, so yeah, so when people do that, uh, and they take it seriously, they don't think of it and take it so lighthearted. To some, this is a very serious thing. So if they have friends, they really think of you as a friend, right? And I think, just in my estimation, that Honest Row really thought of you as a friend, right? And friends share stuff. Friends share stuff. Sometimes it's dark secrets, sometimes it's light secrets, but they share things, right? And for you to dishonor that and do what you did, definitely not a good look at all. And if I was Honest Row, which I am not, but if I was Honest Row, brother, I would just walk away. Just walk away. Because that's not a friend, right? Friends don't do that. Yeah, there may have been some mixed signals. I give you that. There may have been some mixed signals that you may have interpreted as one thing and it may have been something else. Yes, I give you that. But instead of talking to that man to understand, um, first of all, to ask questions to get clarity on these signals that could have possibly been mixed, that's what you should have done first, right? Then once you got your clarity and understanding, squashed it. But of course, everything for some of you folks is a click and a view, and you want somebody to pay attention to you because you want somebody to be talking about you, and you want somebody, to garner some viewership to your channel. So therefore, you do stuff like airing somebody's business. Um, of other grown people, right? At the end of the day, Honest Road is grown. Whoever Honest Road wants to toot his honest butt to or whatever is his business, right? But we have this thing on here of kind of shaming people for the things that they do when they're grown. Nobody's paying their bills but themselves. So they don't owe us anything, any kind of explanation to why they do what they do, anything. Whatever they choose to give us is what we take, right? And either we do commentary on it or leave it alone. However, it's your choice, right? But they don't owe us anything. So I think kind of grilling him to get him to kind of fess up to playing with Brian, having Brian think that he liked Brian and playing with Brian like that, and also having feelings for this other man who he says he just likes his content and stuff like that. And they're trying to be like, no, but you really like him. That's why you went to where you went. Which I mean, to say I've made fun of that too because it seems a little bit like you went there for something else. But I digress, right? And just being fully transparent and real about real, we don't know what kind of relationship Honest Road may have with either gentleman, right? You're just making assumptions. But for Brian to actually come out and say that and call yourself a friend, yeah, I would reevaluate that friendship if I was you, Honest Row. I really would. Because true friends don't do that. True friends don't do that. They may not even see eye to eye on a lot of things, but your true friends will not disclose a joke, excuse me, made in private, seriousness made in private. It's just not what real friends do. So, yeah, I wish you all the best in your search for whomever. But I really personally think, as far as friendships are concerned, start looking for friendships closer in like in your circle, people that actually know you, because these people don't know you at all, and it's a lot of people using people and trying to manipulate them for different things. I think it's crazy. It really is crazy. Um, they, there's no way you can't tell me um, that that's something a friend would do. I just and just listening to the oh yeah, yeah, Armstrong, I like you a lot, and I was gonna come out here and be honest. There's a level of honesty with yourself and your audience, but there's also a level of honesty with your friend, right? With someone who confided in you personal details, no matter how big or small that we may think they are. Um, Honest Row seen something in you that he felt that he could trust, right? And that he could be as open as possible, given, the distance and the kind of frame in which you guys operate on YouTube, to kind of be vulnerable with you. And you took that opportunity to do this. Again, I think it's because you're jealous. But it's like, at the end of the day, what is there to be jealous of? Because people are talking about Honest Row and this man, who the man himself hasn't claimed Honest Row or even that they have any kind of relationship. He's denied it time and time again. So I didn't even understand the purpose of doing this, only to then basically confirm for me, that's my opinion, that you were jealous. You were jealous. You were truly jealous. And that's crazy from somebody who's supposed to be a friend. And got him over there apologizing for, oh, he shouldn't have said it. He apologizing for saying something to a top because he may have taken it the wrong way. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's called being a fucking man. At the end of the day, if he felt some type of way about the story, he could have told you when he was telling you, hey, I, the story is kind of making me feel a little bit uncomfortable because I'm getting aroused. Or I like you and this story is kind of turning me on. So could you please stop? I mean, it could have been just that simple. Just that simple. Just that simple. I think Honest Road had no idea of Brian's feelings until the other night. Truly. I think he just thought, they cool, they talk about stuff, they go on live together and they have conversation, and it's just like the conversation that they have on live. No biggie, no harm, no foul. But you're gonna take it and turn it into oh yeah, he told me that conversation and what happened, and man, I got hard. I was so excited. I was over there throbbing, and it's like, what are you talking about, sir? What are you really talking about? Why is that something to share? And then no less on Jay Wilson's, because just in another week you'll be saying how Jay Wilson is a fagato and you don't like being over there with the fake pastor. So I'm confused, and we can blame it on the medicine, we can blame it on anything else. But I'm just trying to help me understand that within a week or a few days from now, you'll be blasting Jay Wilson. But you felt comfortable enough to go on his platform to air out somebody else's business because you couldn't do it on your own. Now, make that make sense. I'm not buying it. It's screaming attention from me. It's screaming, pick me, pick me, pick me. And what I need Honest Real to understand is don't pick none of these motherfuckers because they're not for you. They're using you. They are using you. Grab your shit and just do what you do and just keep your head down. The people that are for you will be for you. You don't have to extend yourself to people that don't want nothing to do with you or just want to utilize your friendship and your openness to, you know, blast out here on YouTube when they feel the need to. I think that was absolutely ridiculous. Yes. Yeah, and that's all I got to say about that. The motherfuckers ain't your friends. Uh, go find some real friends. Yeah, because yeah, we don't do that. We definitely don't do that. Um, yeah, not at all. Not even on Mad Day. Not even on Mad Day, because that's some real bitch shit. To be very frank with you all, that's really some bitch shit. Because no gay, straight, or anything. Oh man, is really gonna do that. Like you know what I'm saying? You cut your losses and you go about your business. You can either continue to be a friend and just be a friend, or if that's too much for you, you just walk away completely. But you never air somebody out all the intimate conversations that you've had because you felt away of other people talking about this man. Not you, not hearing it from Honest Rose say, hey, I really like Shakim. I like him a lot. I want to date him. You didn't hear him say that. You hear other people say that on YouTube, and now you felt like, oh, I'm gonna throw my 2 cents. Get the fuck out of here. I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. Other than that, definitely want to give prayers out to Leo the Lioness Queen. Um, definitely check out her channel. She just shared some personal testimony, which I thought was really really deep um, and really insightful to a wake up call to us all that nothing is promised and your health is your wealth, and definitely paying attention to any signs or any changes in your health is important. So definitely go check out Leo the Lioness Queen um, at her last live, and prayers out to her as she um, fights this journey, right? Um, Other than that, guys, nothing. I was just really chilling, drinking some wine, and I thought I'd come on real quick and just give my 2 cents of that bullshit ass excuse that Brian gave the other night on Pastor Jay Wilson's. But yeah, that's really all I. It was really burning my biscuit a little bit. Um, Cause I don't like stuff like that. It's like I get it. A lot of people think that they can pick on others, who they deem to be less than or smaller or weaker than whatever. Um, but that last night was some bullshit. That really was. Like you can't be friends with somebody without it being sexual. You definitely damn sure can be friends with somebody without it being sexual. You determine your level of friendship and how you want it to be. Like anybody else. I mean, I don't there's no difference. Gay or straight. I mean, you don't see straight friends enough to talk about some, oh, we have to set boundaries. I mean, you do sometimes, especially if there's women and men friendships and stuff like that, because at some point, for some men, they were attracted to the woman at first, and maybe she shot them down, or vice versa. and they just became good friends. But occasionally, on a drunken night, somebody would try something. You'd be like, no, 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 stop. Don't do that. We're friends, and you set the boundary. That's all it is. It's just setting the boundary. Um, but again, true friends ain't gonna go running back to tell anybody, um, oh, let me tell you what this person did. Let me tell you what that, and then they proceeded to do this, and then they did this, and it's like, cut it out, cut it out. We can be grown, we can be adults, and you can have conversation with people, and it not be so convoluted in sex and one being excited as just be adults, people. Be adults. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. Um, Not everybody we likes us, and that's universal rule of thumb. There's always somebody that you like that don't quite like you. It's life. Get over it. Ain't nothing to be mad about. Ain't nothing to go cry about. Ain't nothing to go run to somebody else's platform and tell somebody else's business. And then got them on there trying to explain themselves and still apologize to you. For what? I have no idea what he was apologizing to you for, because you're the one who told it. So I'm confused, but I can't knock the man. He felt like he needed to apologize to you, so he apologized. Hell if I would, because there's nothing to apologize for, because I'm not the one who told it. All I did was tell a story. So, now in that, granted, I know things could get a little conscrewed. You could say something and somebody could take it a certain way. What'd you say? Right. That is, it's so irritating. Like, we could be friends and it be nothing. It absolutely nothing. Because you may not be my type and I may not be your type, but we could still be friends and joke about stuff and just be personable. I don't understand how that became a problem. I'm really confused. I am still confused as to how that became a problem. Because, come on. It is what it is. And he's like, well, maybe I should tell that to a bottom friend. Well, hell, some of your bottom friends ain't going to want to hear that shit. So, it's just you sharing a story with a friend should not be this problematic. It really, it should have never been this problematic. Nor should he have run to Jay Wilson to say it. And one would think Jay Wilson would have been the bigger person and the older person in the room, no pun intended, to really say, hey, man, I don't think you should go live with this information. Because if he's your friend, then, you don't want to do this. I wouldn't suggest you do that. But coming from the same person that said, I tell y'all there's no friends on YouTube, of course he would be the one to usher this kind of demise of their so-called quote unquote friendship. The person who always talking about there's no friends on YouTube, but yet certain content creators he loves so much and they're so friends and all this stuff, right? But there's no friends on YouTube, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't like it. We can all be friends on here, off of here. Everything doesn't have to be blasted for everybody to know and speculate over, because some of the stuff is not important. Like that whole story yesterday was not important. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. It just made you look very jealous. It's exactly what it made you look, jealous. For no reason. None. whatsoever. Because truth be told, if you had it like that, then he would rock with you, I guess, and that's okay. If you don't, if you're not his cup of tea, that's cool. There's other people out there. So I really didn't see the point in it. If you just didn't want to be friends with him no more, then that's all you had to say was, I don't think, I think maybe this friendship has run its course or what have you, and left it at that. But to air this man out like that, and and again, got him apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have told you that story. Maybe I should have told it to a fellow bottom, and they would have understood and laughed because it was more like a joke. Why are you apologizing? It's a story. I wouldn't care if you said you had 20 dicks up your ass. It really don't matter to me. Like, that's your business. And that's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me whatsoever. And had nothing to do with Brian. For Brian to go back and tell it. Again, because you mad because people talking about Honest Row and Shakim and all this and kind of putting them together. And they supposed to be sharing a room together in Vegas, which he hasn't confirmed nor denied. But I mean, just children, man. Children. That's all I can say. It's just children, children, children. That's the grown ass babies, like baby Hueys walking around here. Um, I don't know. That's all I got. That is really all I got. Um, if anybody has any thoughts, comments, concerns, you can definitely add your 2 cents. I'll drop the link for a second. Otherwise, I just came on real quick just to add my 2 cents about that because I really didn't think that that was fair. And, um, you know, as a fellow uh, top carrying member, I just felt like, oh, we don't have to do that. We can really just be friends in this space. We don't have to um, limit the way we interact or talk with each other because oops, this might get you aroused, or oops, you might think this is sexual. You can't decipher the difference. You can't control yourself to where in which if you're talking to your friend, you're just talking to your friend, or you're just listening to your friend tell a story, and you just go, "Wow, that was crazy, man," and keep it moving. No, you got to. I was excited. I was so excited. He knew I was excited because I told him. I don't know if he said that. I was just adding that, but still, it's like, who cares? Again, that was a moment between you two. And if you did tell him that and he kept it to himself, and he didn't say, "Oh, really?" and continue on, that's because he was trying to tell your ass he wasn't interested, but he still cared about your friendship. He cared enough about you as a friend to kind of not like hurt your feelings. Just, okay, moving right along. But if he continued to interact with you, that's because he was trying to salvage something out of it to maybe tell you, well, he's not looking at you or attracted to you in that way, but y'all can still be friends. But somebody wasn't reading the tea leaves, right? Um, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. So Honest Rose seems like you're a little hot on the streets. And I don't know if that was the whole purpose of doing this too, to make you look like you out here laying it low and spreading it wide, in the words of Miss Evelyn Braxton, laying it low and spreading it wide. Um, because I think part of it that was it too. Because they like to do that. They like to say, I'm your friend, or I like you, but I'm just over here looking at you, and I see you moving funny. Um, and again, it's because they jealous. It's just jealousy. Because whomever this other man is, they're not paying them any attention. They're not coming over to them, flirting with them, or trying to take their money or whatever he's doing to you. Um, so they feel a little jealous. So they want to throw a little salt in the game. Like, yeah, he's doing it to you, but he shouldn't be because he should be over here. Because I look better than him. Look at me. But trust, people choose who they want to interact with. And because you weren't chosen, it's okay. Like, these people need to get off your high horses. That just because you think you have numbers and you're popular on here, that everybody uh, thinks of you in the same esteem. No, everybody does not. Um, yeah, and some people, they just not going to pay you any mind. So just get over it. Take a deep breath. Put your big boy drawers on or your big girl panties on and keep it moving. That's it. That's all. Hey, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Thank you for everybody popping in. Definitely appreciate you for me taking these couple minutes just to say hey. Um, yeah, so be on the lookout. Tuesday we'll be back up and running. I just figured that because of the holiday, I was going to give everybody a little more of a break, but we'll be back Tuesday night for our politics and wellness back up and running as usual. Um, oh, sorry, that was a text message. Yeah, so Tuesday night at 8:35 p.m. we'll be back up and running with the politics and wellness, and yeah, I look forward to getting back on the road with this everything that's going on. But yeah, right now it's just shooting the shit and just sharing my 2 cents. No pun intended, my 2 cents. Hi, how are ya? But just giving my perspective on what I felt was a bit wrong, a bit wrong, a bit wrong. But in other news, I did see. I don't know. King Roman News may have a little smoke from his VS. I thought that was interesting. So boy, somebody's taking that whole. I want to take the crown to a whole new level. I, I keep trying to tell you. When you say things, you get the people going. But yeah, that I don't know where that came from. That looked like that came a little bit out of left field, but I could be wrong. I don't know the backstory, but I just thought that was a lot. But I don't know. It's like the Iron Throne. That throne is empty, and everybody's trying to sit their asses on the Iron Throne here, and I think they are they're really gunning for it. Okay, uh, and it's all your fault, Tatum. It is all your fault. You did that. You gave up that throne, and now they're gunning for it. But we shall see how this goes. We shall see. And yeah, this and the Krista thing and the TC thing, as humorous as it is, I just think, if anything, it's just an enlarged clitoris, right? I mean, and that's fine. I've messed with people that had meat curtains. So, I mean, don't even get me started. Um, just had a flashback. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's not a big thing. It's not a big deal. It is what it is. Now, we need not to act like it's, it's a crime against humanity. It ain't that big of a deal. It's definitely not a crime against humanity to talk about somebody under their clothes or what have you. We've talked about worse things. People have said the most horrible things, even knowing the truth. Um, so, I mean, there's no difference. This is just something, unfortunately, that happens here, right? So it's like, you know it, you keep it moving, and you just run with it. Hey, Reed, what's going on, girl? How are you? And your words, Cap. How y'all doing down there? We fine. Um, But yeah, I think whatever kind of relationship they had, it's it's theirs, right? I do believe there's some anger there. That's why all this stuff is getting like blasted. Do we deserve to know like what's the real reason? What is the reason? What's the reason? No, not really. I mean, if TC wants to share, but if she doesn't, she don't have to, and I think from her silence, she's not going to. So I think this will just be, kind of war fought on one end and not the other. Now, as far as S. Hutchinson having uh, other details and private conversations and recordings and things of that nature, I mean, we know this kind of her MO, right? So I don't know. I guess my thought is if if you engage with someone and you know what they do, then you should expect that your conversations are part of the collective, right? So there should be no surprise. Um, now, the only issue is if you were engaged in those conversations and talking about other people. Ha ha, ha ha. Now that's a horse of a different color. Now, if you was talking about other people in these recorded conversations that were supposed to be your friend, then you were supposed to have relationships with. That may be a problem. You may run into a little bit of an issue there. Um, but I think if somebody's recording your conversations, you keep it light. You make sure you keep it to where nothing's incriminating and things of nature, and things should run smoothly, right? You would think, but we don't know. We have no idea. You said what? We are beef sectors. uh, yeah, it really is bad. It really just is so crazy. Yeah, and I get it. I get it. This is the beef sector, and people are gonna beef, right? I, trust me, I get it. Um, but sometimes it's just like the way the beef is orchestrated. It don't be real beef. It'd be like imitation beef. And don't get me wrong, I like my plant based stuff, but I can't rock with a lot of this fictitious beef. Like I really this manufactured, made in China beef that they be giving this whole plastic meat. I can't do um, fake beef. If it's gonna be beef, I'd rather it to be real, genuine beef, not beef like I got beef with this person, but because you got beef with this person, then I'm a tag on to your beef with this person because I rock with you. No, that's that person's beef. Like, stop injecting yourself into somebody else's beef. You're not a flavor injector. This is not a turkey. This is beef. This is not a turkey. This is not Thanksgiving. Like, oh, I'm gonna put some seasoning in here. I'm gonna inject this turkey with some this, that, and the other. No, no, stop injecting yourself. If it don't have nothing to do with you, just stand back. Stand back. What do you say? Stand back and stand down. Do that. If it don't have nothing to do with you, just stand back and let the people kind of, work it out, duke it out, and handle their own business. Nobody needs to defend anybody. It's like everybody's grown in here. You know when you get in here what it's about. Even if you haven't been an actual content creator, you have sat in the clouds or on somebody's chat and you've got a good whiff of how things flow out here, right? So there's no surprises. So people cut it with the I can't believe you talk about people kids. They talk about worse things. Most of these people on here done put people in wheelchairs, peg legs, and all types of shit that they don't have ever. I mean, just dumb shit. Um, and you people actually keep believing it and repeating it. Like, Okay, you sound stupid. But whatever. If you want to look dumb, that's your thing. But yeah, these people and these beefs, I just think, um, again, if it's your beef and it's directed towards you, yes, by all means, handle your shit. But if it's not your beef and you don't have nothing to do with it, just stand down and wait your turn. It'll be your turn soon. It'll come around back to you again, and you can then flex your beef muscles and really have some genuine beef. Otherwise, just wait your turn. It's coming. Just chill. Just chill. I don't think that's the way you become the king of the beef sector. Is like just picking up everybody's beef and wanting to beef with everybody. No, that's not the way that works. I just think it's strategic. Like, getting the beefs that come to you and handling them the way they need to be handled. And that's it. If you were looking for a roadmap on how to sit on the Iron Throne, I think that would be it. Is to just handle the beefs that come to you thoroughly, like finish them. Leave no crumbs left when but other than that, you just sit back. Every battle is not yours. Every battle is not yours, and it's not for you to fight. Some battles, let the people who are involved in that, let them do it. And I get it. Sometimes we have a lot of people or friends on here that we feel like we need to protect. But again, these same people know the type of situation that we deal with, right? So they should be well equipped with how to handle themselves. And if not, then maybe they need to step back and reevaluate, hey, is this something I want to get involved in? Because when it comes around, it may come around to me. Am I strong enough to handle this? I mean, I'm just saying, you got to be strong, right? You got to be bold, right? How that song go? You got to be bad, you got to be bold, you got to be wiser, something like that. Yeah, but you got to be all those things a little bit. This is not for the timid, you know? I mean, some of us, even like myself, I'm not a rah rah person all the time, but it's like if you get me there, oh yeah, you'll see a different side of me. And it's hard for me to do that on here because I just feel like I'm talking to myself, and it makes me feel a little crazy. So, but in person, yes, it's a turn up. It is a turn up. I mean, on here, it's like I'm really come on. You're like talking to yourself, and you're doing all this, and yeah. Wait till I see you. Wait till I see you. Right. In person, that's a whole different ball game because real life happens. Charges, time, all that stuff happens in real life. All this back and forth talking, smack to somebody way across on the other side of these United States or wherever is childish. So yeah, don't get caught up in the hype. What'd you say? No, I don't think so either. I don't think she should be embarrassed about any of it. I mean, if she happens to have an extended clitoris thing, so what? And even if she had both parts, so the fuck what? I mean, that's crazy. You hating on it now, but you was loving on it when she was, when you were engaged in the bullshit with her, and she was showing it to you or whatever the case was. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that makes me always go like, but you was down for it when they were showing to you in the beginning. You was all for it then. You was, oh, let me see that thing again. Make it jump or do whatever you was doing All that was good and dandy until what now? Oh, now we have a problem. Oh, now it's nasty. Now she's a hermaphrodite. Now she got both parts. Now all these things. Yeah, but you was telling her before, I'm sure, that you was gonna suck it and you was gonna rub on it and all those things early on. I'm sure you was talking all that nasty shit. Now all of a sudden you just oh oh oh, now it's nasty. Oh, okay. Okay. But it wasn't nasty months ago. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a lot of y'all got some anger issues that y'all need to work out. Y'all really need to go sit on somebody's couch. I really believe that. There's a lot of little childhood traumas here, and y'all need to really fix those, right? Y'all really need to fix those. Y'all need to talk to them little people that live inside y'all. Tell them it's gonna be okay. They are okay. Because what y'all displaying out here is childish. It really is. Because I'm not understanding. You was all riding TC's baloney pony for months. Okay? Something happened. Don't know what, because I still don't know what happened, but whatever happened caused you to flip on her. Okay, great. When did flipping on her have you telling all her personal business and what she got underneath her clothes? Again, as if that's any concern of ours. Now, it'd be different if she had a Twitter, right, that we've all participated in, or some of us have gone look at and seen whatever it was, right? So then it'd be like, oh, that's no shocker. It's on her Twitter. But to my knowledge, right, I don't believe she has that. I don't believe she's done that. So then, therefore, for you to take it upon yourself to now disclose this information, it's really like, well, damn. Did you have any concern for her at all, or was this a scheme? Was we scheming on TC? Now, granted, we all have sides to us, right? And we all don't know TC's other side. So, I can't say or not say that the relationship didn't have its ups and downs and different things and situations, and that just Krishna has a reason to be upset, mad, angry. But I honestly believe that if TC came out and started talking about some deformities on just Krista's body and things that was sent to her that she felt the way about or questioned, a lot of people would then have something to say about TC. Oh, it's not you shouldn't body shame. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. But nobody has any words for this, because it is body shaming. I mean, of course. Now, as far as the HIPAA and all those other violations, that's a far reach, right? Because so many other factors have to play in that in order to be in violation of a HIPAA or anything of that nature, right? So, I mean, it sounds nice, right? Because of course, you always want to sound like you know what you're talking about, right? But the reality, it's far fetched and in between as far as when it comes to that being done and somebody actually being charged with that who's not a medical professional or somewhere where those records would have to be that person's responsibility, and then that person would have to expose them. So with all that to the side, Put that where? Back there. Um, yeah, it's like, did she need to? Was like, where did that get you? Again, we get to a place where we start telling on people. You start telling their business. You feel a way about what they did or what they said, and it's like, oh, I'm a tell. I'm a tell that you know you got a little extra meat on your curtain. I'm gonna tell this and I'm gonna tell that, and it's just like, first of all, who cares? And secondly, more importantly, it wasn't a problem when she was spitting that game to you at first. It wasn't a problem then. So when did it become a problem now? That little extra piece of sausage, that little Vienna sausage of a clitoris she had used to make your little thing tickle, right? And then all of a sudden now it's a problem. Help us all understand why, right? Just why. And maybe that'd be a better conversation when cooler heads prevail. Like, what's all this about? Does she owe you some money? Right? Because that's what it sounded like. Sound like somebody was like, hey, my car got towed, or I need a repair and I'm short. You got a couple dollars? Yeah, but I'm gonna need this back. And I'm gonna need this back turned into, oh, I ain't got it right now. But when I get this, whatever check, I got you. And some other things came up and it became delay after delay after delay after delay. And right now, Krista has had it, okay? She don't want no more delays. She want her money now. Just like Miss Skillet. Now, I like Miss Skillet. I happen to, I do occasionally watch her, but I don't know about the whole situation. It just seemed a little, I don't know. 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 I will say that if it is real, I pray for your safety. But part of me, I don't know. I don't know. Because, I mean, if you're just looking at it, right? Not being judgmental at all, just looking at it. I can go to any office, go to speak to somebody, or go, hey, is the so and so in? And walk out, which is what you did. Um, you were in front of the police department or something of that nature in a car. You could have been in your own car. I don't know. um, but we don't know, right? But all we can do is pray that you're safe, right? But it was just funny hearing him say, well, what happened to the money? Well, I was trying to surprise you. But then my thought was, well, what was you trying to surprise him with? Because at this point, you want his fucking money. You might as well tell him what the fucking surprise is. He might calm down. But then I thought to myself, self said, what? I said, what if the surprise was she paid for them to go to Vegas during Ness? No mess thing, right? And she didn't want to tell him because she was on live, and then people would have known that she was going to Vegas. But I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just mute it and then go, well, babe, I'll take the money to surprise you with a trip to Vegas, and then hit unmute and go on about your business? But she was so determined to just say, oh, I had a surprise for you. I have something for you. And didn't want to tell the man what it was. And he's sitting over here asking for his fucking money. Because if he just gave you $2,000 and he said $5,000 missing, that's $7,000. Where the fuck was y'all staying for $7,000 in Vegas? Was she living it up in the Caesar's Palace penthouse? Is that what we're doing? Okay, Miss Skillet, I hear you. She's like, I don't sleep in my clothes, nor do I room with my clothes. I need a private suite for my clothes, and a private suite for me. Um, yeah, but if that's $7,000, that's a lot of money for some Vegas. She's like, yes, we do first class everything. Um, yeah, but in all seriousness, I really hope you're safe. And if this was a little stunty stunt, because sometimes you do little tricky tricks to kind of get the audience and get the people talking, to put your name in the lights. If that's what this was, shame on you. Shame on you. Because there's so many people that deal with domestic violence, uh, and it's not a laughing matter, right? Um, so, yeah. So if this wasn't legit and you kind of concocted this to get a little rumble in the jungle on the YouTube streets, yeah, I think that's a bad choice. Because my whole point was, why didn't you just say where he was going? If he said he wanted to know where his fucking money went, you could have just said, babe, I wanted to surprise you with a trip to Vegas and tickets to see Tony Braxton. You like Tony, right? She's from Maryland. Severn, to be exact. Right? Yeah, you know her. She's doing a thing in Vegas. And I thought we would go see her. Or you could go see her while then I go visit Ness No Mess and Lemon and the rest of them. I mean, it sounds feasible. I don't think that that's too far fetched. I think she was trying to, she was paying for it, but she was paying for it flat out, like she was paying for everything. A trick would have been to pay a little at a time, pay for maybe airplane, then the hotel, then maybe wait another 2 weeks and pay for something else. Kind of keep it on a different kind of schedule so the person don't notice. You don't just take it all out at one time and when bam. You don't do that. Who does that? That's a simple way to get your ass beat on a joint bank account. Somebody go look and take some money out and it declined. What? Girl, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you do that. But in all seriousness, we just hope that you're safe. But next time, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And if you take money out of somebody's account, it's just like stealing. If you take some money out of somebody's account, you let them know, hey, I took some money out the account to surprise you with the trip to Vegas. Don't be mad. I just felt like we needed to go out together as a family and gamble. So I could run the YouTube streets in Vegas and mess with Ness No Mess and Lemon and whomever else is out there. Because I want to go hang out too. Fine. But don't lie to the man. Don't lie to the man. It's all about communications. You got to communicate. But anyway, what do I know, right? All right, so yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Well, I'm gonna call it quits. You guys have a great night. See you out here in these YouTube streets. And until next time, you beautiful people, have a wonderful night. All right. Peace and hair grease.